Hey. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Where are my people? This one is nice. Ooh. Where are my jollof rice lovers? Anon. Anon Collins, I know. You're the first today, yeah. Not the number one jollof rice lover. Anon Collins. Let me change this thing back. The number one jollof rice lover. I knew it. I was wondering who will be the first, and you came to mind, and I said, Jollof, Anon will be here first. Definitely be here first. Oh my God. You're welcome. You're welcome to the live video. Right on time. Obinna, okay. Is it not you that put Anon? Obinna, so you put the one them work yourself. Anon Collins. You can't hide on the internet. One day, you go from Anon to Obinna. Yes. You're from Oka. You told me that the last time. Yeah. When you were asking me about church. Hey. Oh my God. Hey. Where is everybody? 4 minutes now. What is happening? Hi Chidi. Welcome on board. I can't even see the number of people because Anon is here, Chidi is here, but I see 0 here. I don't know if this is going to work today. Let's see. They're doing African time, no, Obinna. They're doing African time. They don't know that these days you can't do African time because you can't keep people waiting. No. No, no, no. Ah, mm. Almost 10 past. Woo! Okay, no, actually 5 past. This clock is faster than this one. Okay, you can start, Anon. Go on, go ahead. You asked me 50 questions before the... You asked me 50 questions before the rest of the class arrives. What's my favorite variation of jollof rice? I like the mixed vegetables jollof rice. You know the one, not the one with the leafy veg, the one where you add carrots and green pepper. I like it because the green pepper gives the jollof rice a nice scent. The only problem with that one is that when you prepare it, if you're preparing jollof rice that you want to keep for some time, it's not a good idea to prepare it that way because the vegetables will make the jollof rice go off quicker. For instance, the other day I was talking about storing jollof rice in the fridge. If you cook that type, I don't think that one can last for as long as the other one without the vegetables. That's the only difference. But that's the one I prefer because of the green pepper gives it a nice scent. And it looks nice as well, so that's the one I like eating. I also like coconut rice. Oh my god, the coconut jollof rice. It's so good because I like the surprise aspect of it. You know, when you serve it to people, I like serving it to my guests. You know, when they see the plate of jollof rice, they think that they're going to eat normal jollof rice. But as soon as they put it in the mouth, the first spoon, they will be like, what's in this rice? What's in this rice? So I like that element of surprise when I serve coconut jollof rice to my guests. Really? You add sweet corn to yours? Yes, the white coconut rice. Actually, someone requested that. I need to upload the video for that. That's you just, it's basically boiling white rice with coconut milk. Some people even add pieces of coconut inside it, but personally, I don't like the pieces of coconut inside the rice because when I'm eating it, you know, the difference in texture between the coconut is hard and the rice is soft. I don't really like that, so team jollof coconut every day. Yes, I made a video of white coconut rice, but it's not the one that the Calabar, those from the Calabar area prepare. They prepare theirs plain white, like completely plain white, no color. But that one that I prepared, you can call it like off-white, because once you add there's this meat that you add to it, it colors it. The sausage, and that's like the Spanish sausage. It's the color is quite strong, so when you add it to the meal, it colors it, so it's no longer like pure white. But yes, that's the one. Crayfish? No, what? Oh, you mean crayfish, dry crayfish, or you mean shrimps? In Efikibibio, they add, I've seen someone, like when people send me photos of the food they prepare, I've seen someone add shrimps to it, but not crayfish. No, I've seen shrimps, I've seen carrots in it, I've seen green peas in it. Yeah, but it's just white and you eat it with a sauce. So maybe the local version, because, and you know that some people add a lot of crayfish to what they're eating. Some people add crayfish to everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are people that add crayfish to it, but normally no. Anything crayfish in life, sorry, anything crayfish and rice puts me right off. I think the only place I would add crayfish, the only rice that I will eat with crayfish is if it's concoction rice. You know, there's a rice recipe where you prepare with palm oil, smoked fish, so it's quite traditional. So crayfish can work in that recipe, but not like jollof rice. Another one is the banga rice. If you add crayfish to banga rice, because the palm fruit concentrate is already like, it has a traditional taste, so it goes well with crayfish. And then you have the ofaku. When you're cooking ofaku, you can add crayfish. So those are the three recipes where I'll add crayfish to rice. But any other recipe, no. Crayfish and rice. Crayfish and rice. Jollof rice and beans. I don't even, do you know that I don't add crayfish to beans? I don't add crayfish to beans. Like even beans porridge, I don't like adding crayfish to it. I don't know why. Beans has this its own taste that shines through. When you try to add too many ingredients to it, it just ruins it for me. And as a beans hater, I hate beans so much, even though I force my kids to eat it. But I'm a beans hater, so if over ingredients they start to worry the beans, I no go eat. And rice and beans is like the I don't know, that recipe. I really it's like at the bottom of the list in my favorite recipes, because I don't know, I prefer you cook rice. I can eat boiled white rice that is cooked separately, and then boiled beans that is cooked separately, and then you can mix the two together while you're eating it. But I don't like the rice and beans mixed together in a pot and cooked with ingredients. No, I don't like the taste. I don't know why. Yes, some people are addicted to crayfish. Addicted to crayfish so much. Wow. That's 1:15. Have I ever added liquid smoke to my jollof rice? Which one is liquid smoke? Anon, you don't come again. Which one is liquid smoke? So is there, let me ask, is there anything called liquid smoke? You know, in that Una America, everything is possible. Chidi, please follow me and ask. Okay, you're in the UK, it's true. I like the way Chidi is just following you to bumper with that question. Liquid smoke. I've never heard about liquid, like, I mean, the way you say, like, liquid smoke, I mean, is there an iced one as well? Ice smoke. Hi. Oh my god. I'm just trying to imagine when I am preparing jollof rice or party jollof rice, and I'll say, okay, Add the chicken stock, add liquid smoke, stir for a bit. So I know, Obina, please, can you explain what does is it like a spice? Okay, it's flavoring, smoke flavor. So there's something called a smoke flavor in the market. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Mm. Mm. Because when people ask me about how to prepare party jollof rice without cooking it over wood fires, I'm like, there is no smoke without fire. In this case, there is no smoky jollof rice without firewood or something like that. So I always say you need smoke, because some people have said so many things, they've come up with so many things. You cook it till it's burnt. No, that one is burnt jollof rice. It's not burnt, it's not smoky jollof rice. No. Then some people said, actually someone suggested something. Sometime we were having a conversation on Facebook about this, and someone suggested, for those that use, of course that won't work with my vitreous ceramic cooker, because I don't have open flames coming out. So for those that use gas burners, where you have real flames, naked flames, they can put coal beside it, so that they can the smoke coming out from the coal or charcoal will eventually get into the rice and make it smoky. But I've never tried that, but it makes a lot of sense compared to when people say cook it till it's burnt. Like when I'm eating burnt jollof rice, I know, and when I'm eating smoky jollof rice, I know there's a huge difference. We traveled to Nigeria this summer, and my sister-in-law's neighbor one day was cooking, like, I don't know who in their neighborhood was cooking this burnt jollof rice, and we were like, oh my god, I think this person is trying to simulate smoky jollof rice, but that's actually burnt jollof rice. And that thing smelled for hours. Everywhere was smelling. The rooms, the wardrobes, the clothes, people's clothes were smelling, because somebody was just, in my place we say, bore the jollof rice, like you cooked it till nothing is left. It burnt so much. So there's a huge difference. Something that I add to something that I add is I add black pepper. I noticed that black pepper, it doesn't really give it smoky flavor, but it tastes really nice in jollof rice and simulates, and that with the Nigerian curry powder flavor in the jollof rice helps make it have this unique taste that is close to smoky, but it's still not smoky until you cook it with wood fires. If it's not Panadol, it's not the same thing as Panadol. Okay, who has arrived since I was talking about smoky jollof rice? Bacon01, hello, welcome on board. Bacon is asking, do I know the difference in the jollof rice in different regions? Okay, I know from the photos that people send me from people from different regions of Nigeria. When they cook party jollof rice, it's pretty much the same. The only difference is I noticed that at a party in Lagos, I don't know if that is predominantly how the people of Western Nigeria prepare their jollof rice. It's sticky. The rice was so sticky, like when they stirred it, it was like they intentionally stirred it so that it will stick together. I don't know if that's the way it's cooked everywhere in Western Nigeria. On our own side, sometimes if you invite people to come and cook for you, these paid caterers that come to cook for you when you have a big event, they cook it that way as well. During the stirring, they stir it so much that it it sticks together. So I've never really seen jollof rice prepared in northern Nigeria. So I believe, having seen this in the west and in the east, I believe that just has to do with the fact that it's a large quantity of this rice that is cooked in such a big pot. So probably they can't get away with not the rice not being sticky because it's a large quantity of rice. But in our home and in most people's homes I've been to, when we cook jollof rice, it's done soft to bite, but it's not sticky. It's not like packed together like you are dishing out. When you're dishing out this jollof rice that I'm talking about, it looks like you're dishing out semolina, like swallow. It's so compact. But the ones we prepare at home are not like that. So, and the ones I eat in restaurants are not like that. So I believe the way people cook jollof rice doesn't have to do with the regions. It has to do with individual families. Like people prepare it in different ways in their homes. That's all I can say about that. Bacon01. Hey, Miss Tingal. Wow, your name is so just one just one vowel in your long name. Miss Tingal. Okay, Miss Tingal, you said they probably add smoke liquid to give it that flavor. What does this smoke liquid look like? I've never heard this before. This is the first time I can hear this. I've heard this in my life. Anon, I have bay leaves here. Bay leaves do not give smoky flavor, at least to me. It doesn't give. It just helps to season the meat, but it doesn't give me. It doesn't give me smoky flavor, to be honest. Unless there are different kinds of bay leaves. Maybe the fresh, because the ones I can buy here are usually the dry ones. Maybe the fresh ones give out a different kind of flavor. Hi, Fatima. Welcome on board. Anon, Obina. Like I said, Igbo jollof is a bit drier. Not really. When you go to Ibanku and you eat jollof rice there, no, it's not dry. It's like packed together that you can make balls with it. Like if you use your hand to make, you can actually make balls, something like balls of semo with it. But when you prepare it at home, because you're preparing a small quantity, it's not soggy and it's not like, I don't know, stuck together. But at parties in the same Igbo land, it's stuck together. That ours is more al dente. Al dente. No, the Italians say when they're cooking spaghetti. Anyway, it depends. But when they cook rice, I know when they cook rice. I'm from Anambra State. When they cook rice, we're in traditional marriages, and you eat that rice, it's so soft, just like the ones I've eaten at in Yoruba parties. So yes, bacon. It's the same kind of rice. Like okay, if you're asking about the type of rice, in Nigeria we use the long grain parboiled rice in the south. In the north, they use the soft variety of rice, like in the family of the kind of soft rice you'll get with basmati rice, jasmine rice. That's the kind of rice that is common in northern Nigeria. So, okay, if you're asking about the type of rice, not the method of preparation. Okay, the type of rice in the north, they eat mostly the very soft variety of rice. You know, they prepare, in northern Nigeria, they prepare tuwo shinkafa as well, which is swallow. It's like rice meal that you eat with soup, just like you eat pounded yam with soup. So they use that soft variety of rice to prepare that, so that when the rice is done and soft, you can use a spatula to mash it up to form a fufu, yeah, kind of consistency. It's the same kind of rice that they use to prepare their jollof rice, yeah, other rice meals, yeah. And but these days, you know, with Nigeria, we import almost everything now. So without the local rice being, the local rice is not as popular as before. So everybody eats this foreign rice that is hard, the long grain parboiled rice. So I believe that now that's what they prepare up north as well. So, but traditionally they use the soft variety of rice. Chidi, the liquid smoke exists. Wow, I need to Google that. Fatima is asking how to make the jollof rice look red without using too much tomato. There's no other way unless you add coloring. I know that growing up, if you went to birthday parties, you'll see the rice one kind color, like you know that it's not, that color is not from tomatoes. It's one strange color. It's from food coloring, and to be honest, I would not add that kind of food coloring to my food. The only place I add food coloring is when I'm baking, like cakes. If I want to get multiple colors in the cake, that's the only time I use food coloring. But apart from that, I will not add food color. Apart from that, it's tasteless because the more tomatoes you add, tomatoes makes the, I don't know, the jollof rice savory and not dry, rather than when you just add maybe a little bit of oil and coloring. So it's the only way out is coloring. Apart from that, it's tomatoes that you need to use. I don't know why you're asking. Are you allergic to tomatoes or what? Because yeah, unless you need to use another thing, you can use peppers. Like in my recent video, I uploaded beef and chicken stew, Nigerian beef and chicken stew. I added peppers, so you can use less tomatoes if it's tomatoes you don't want, but you need something to make it red, popping red. If not, it will be pale jollof rice. The worst thing you can do is to prepare pale jollof rice. That's the how they prepared jollof rice in the 70s and 80s. Too pale for my liking. Wow. Mitzingal. Sometimes I wonder how people come up with their usernames. How did you come up with Mitzing? Oh, MZGT New York City. Is that NYC? Is that New York City gal? Yeah. Yes, Ginika, welcome on board. Yeah, Ginika, it's the actually fresh tomatoes do not color jollof rice as much as the tomato paste or the pepper, because fresh tomatoes, they will look so red, but after boiling and frying it loses its redness quickly. So the paste, yeah, the paste helps make it popping red, or the peppers. But I don't know why she doesn't want to use tomatoes at all. Fatima, if you don't want to use tomatoes at all, you can use peppers actually. Add a little tomato maybe, or the paste, the tomato paste with the peppers. It will pop. Sharazit's World. Hello, welcome on board. Vivre Savi is asking, what's the best rice to use for party rice with individual flavorful grains? Yes, if you want the rice to be well done, not soggy, and standalone pieces, like yori pieces of jollof rice, use long grain parboiled rice. That is what we use in Nigeria. Use long grain parboiled rice. There's also this rice, don't use, you can use basmati but, or jasmine, but to be honest, basmati rice, when it's standalone, it's not well cooked. By the time the rice is well cooked, it's already soggy. That's the traditional basmati rice. But last year, I was in London. There's this basmati rice that I saw there. It's called Golden Cellar basmati rice. That rice to me is, I don't know why it's called basmati rice. Maybe because of the shape, because it's long and slender. Maybe that's why they call it basmati rice, because it's just as hard and tough as long grain parboiled rice. It's just the shape. It's beautiful, you know, long and slender like basmati rice, but it's tough. You can parboil it or pre-cook it before you cook it, you know, the method that I used to cook, and it's fine. It's just like long grain parboiled rice. So these two are the ones I recommend for if you want individual flavorful grains when you are done. You're welcome. Yes, golden seller. It's quite popular. Everybody, yeah, golden seller. It's just like normal rice, just the shape. Yeah. Yes. You know the Obinna. Yes, the you know the that kind of rice you're talking about, fat rice. Yeah. I think it's the one that they use in Senegal to cook. That rice has some kind of flavor in it that that is missing in long grain parboiled and golden seller basmati, and but that one gets soggy easily. I don't know if it's the same rice, the fat rice you're talking about. I don't know if it's the same one, but it gets soggy quite easily. Prince Alino, hello. Um, what kind? You're asking what kind of meat do I use for my? Are you asking the one I prefer? I prefer chicken. Chicken is the best for jollof rice. That's the best meat for jollof rice. If it comes to other kinds of meat like red meat, then beef. That's the best for me. Fried meat, you have to fry it. Hi, Veronica Building. How are you? I'm fine. Vivre Saville. I've seen Ghana Jollof. They just add vegetables. They add carrot and green pepper. Is that the one you're talking about? They prepare it the same way as we do. They just add carrot and green pepper, or probably other vegetables like hard vegetables, not leafy vegetables. And that's the difference. Hi, Prince. Hi, Chinenye from Valencia. Just in the same place with me. Vivi Sabi, the one you ate was brown. The rice itself was brown, or the like the grains of rice were brown, or the dish when done was brown. Because there's this rice we have in Nigeria as well. It's like it's ofada rice. It has some brownish thing color on it because it's not completely, you know, when you parboil like half parboiled rice and you still have the brown outer skin on it. That's the one we have in Nigeria. We have it ofada rice as a local rice. Is that what you mean by brown, or the rest, the meal itself was brown when it was done? Hi Rookie. Hi. Rookie is asking if I prefer cooking with palm oil or olive oil for jollof rice, because this video is for jollof rice. Are you asking if I prefer using palm oil or olive oil for jollof rice? None. I prefer taste. I don't like unless I'm cooking concoction rice like traditional rice. Yeah, but apart from that, normally jollof rice, it's sunflower oil or the vegetable oils we use in Nigeria, because these two are tasteless and they don't have smell. Olive oil, no. I can use olive oil for vegetable stir fries, but and then palm oil when I'm cooking Nigerian soups, the soups that we use to eat fufu, or the one we call swallow. Cool Ghana boy, okay. Cool, Viv, the cool Ghana boy, he's from Ghana, of course, from his name. He's telling you that probably it's so red that you thought it was brown, or maybe there are lots of ingredients that were added to it, and remember that you ate it in Ghana. It probably it may not be Ghana, because there's this Caribbean rice recipe or rice dish that is people in West Africa prepare now, that you add minced meat in it and it looks brown. So if it's that one, it's not really Ghanaian. Anon, Obinna, I have to remember to be calling you that. Obinna, you're asking, what about turkey, beef, fish, and fish for jollof rice? Are they cool? Okay, when it comes to turkey, turkey is a bird, and if I have to choose between turkey and chicken, I'll choose chicken any day, and that's the hard chicken, that's the hen, not rooster. So once it's between hen and turkey, I'll choose hen any day because hen is tastier. Turkey does not taste, it's kind of flat for me, but chicken is savory, you know, but turkey is not that. And I don't like the texture of turkey. I prefer the texture of chicken. So for me, I'll choose chicken over turkey any day, even for any kind of bird dish, even if it's prepared something, chicken or turkey, I'll go with chicken because chicken is tastier so long as it's hen. And then in that order, after chicken, I'll go with beef. I like beef in jollof rice as well. And lastly, I'll go with fish. When I'm preparing jollof rice, I don't want to prepare it with fish. I want to prepare it with chicken or beef. But when I'm preparing banga rice, concoction rice, I'll use fish. That is how I go with the ingredients, because I believe fish is a kind of traditional food, traditional ingredient. It goes better, it will go better with all the crayfish and all the palm fruit concentrates in these other types of rice, banga rice and concoction rice. But with jollof rice, it has to be chicken or beef. That's my personal preference anyway. Especially if you're having a party. If you're having a party, I would rather they prepare the rice with chicken or beef, and then they can prepare peppered fish or fried fish on the side, so that whoever wants fish can eat. But don't use fish stock to cook the jollof rice. I don't really like the taste of fish in jollof rice, but that's me. Hi, Ezukam. Is that Florence or Florence? Hello. Victoria, hello. Victoria is asking, how do you avoid burning? Okay, in lots of my warm pot rice recipes, I explain this science of cooking jollof rice. Okay, jollof rice in this case is any rice that you add lots of ingredients into the pot. You know, you're not boiling white rice that you would eat with a sauce. So any kind of rice recipe where you're adding all the ingredients, including oil, bobo tibo, inside the same pot, and you are using long grain parboiled rice. Excuse me. The things that you need to do to avoid burning is, one, you need to parboil it. I know some people cook the long grain, they just rinse the long grain parboiled rice and cook it direct. But to be honest, if you are still trying to master how to cook jollof rice, that method will not, 90% of the time, it will not work for you, because long grain parboiled rice contains lots of starch. And that starch, if you don't parboil the rice to remove some of the starch or carbs or starch, that thing will contribute to the burning. Secondly, if you are not cooking it on low heat, it will continue to the burning. So you need to reduce the heat that is commensurate to the size of your pot and the quantity of food you're cooking. Thirdly, if you're not using the right, you need to use the right type of pot. When you're cooking jollof rice or any other Nigerian one pot recipe, you should use original stainless steel pots. All these coated pots, pots with coating, non-stick pots, they don't work well with when you're cooking jollof rice. It will burn straight away, because I don't know, it has to do with the way that the pot cooks. I don't know how to explain it, but I just understand it up there. But just avoid non-stick pots when you're cooking jollof rice. Avoid enamel pots. There's this kind of pots that are flower. They look really beautiful, that they have flowers on the outside, and it looks like they're made with plate material, you know, plates of those days that has flowers on it and has cover. That kind of pot burns jollof rice straight away. Another reason is, there's a way I cook jollof rice. After parboiling it, I make sure the second time I'm cooking it, I make sure the water is at the same level as the rice. Once you parboil the rice correctly, once that water dries up, the rice will be done. If you parboil the rice or pre-cooked the rice correctly. Because if you did not pre-cook the rice enough and you try to add more water, because the first water has dried, the food is now compact in the pot. I don't know how to explain this one again. And the second batch of water you're adding will not dry as smoothly as the other one, and burning will set in while the water is still in the pot. I don't know I hope I'm clear. I hope I'm explaining it. It's better to, who asked me this? Who asked me this? Victoria. It's better to watch my turmeric rice video. I explained this there. Coconut rice, that's the coconut, even the white coconut rice, jollof coconut rice, Nigerian jollof rice. I explained all this there. How to pre-cook the rice, how to make sure that it doesn't burn, the type of pot to use. So yes, these are the things. Heat, pre-cook it. If you don't pre-cook it, you're on your own. You may see people that have a lot of experience cooking jollof rice without pre-cooking the long grain parboiled rice, and it works for them. Or probably it doesn't work for them. I don't know. If you see the bottom of that pot, you will see that it's burnt anyway. So it must burn, because the starch in there is so much that it will burn. It's either it burns or it's soggy or the rice is not well done. Like when you bite into it, you feel that the rice is not well cooked. You notice. For me, I don't like when I'm eating rice. We used to call it, I don't want to mention the name of the eatery, but we used to call it that eatery's rice, because when you're eating rice at that eatery, it looks like you're eating pre-cooked rice, like rice that is not well done. So heat, pot, pre-cooking, and how you add the rice. Make sure you cook it in once. Don't add more water after the first one has dried up. Okay, Cool Ghana Boy is saying that in Ghana, the flavor that makes the rice brown is called dawa dawa. That's our ogiri okpe in Igbo. We call it ogiri okpe. It's a local seasoning. Okay, we use this to cook. We add this when we are cooking. There's a type of rice we can add it to banga rice. We can add it to concoction rice as well in Nigerian, but not jollof rice. Bacon01 is asking if tatashi is the same as regular bell pepper. No, not at all. I've seen a lot of people call it bell pepper, like they say tatashi or bell pepper, but no, it's not even the same shape. Bacon01, sweet peppers or paprika has the same shape as tatashi, but the difference is that because they are both tapered. Our tatashi is tapered, paprika is tapered, sweet pepper is tapered. That's how tatashi is. But the difference is that tatashi is spicy hot. It depends on who you talk to. People from Western Nigeria, because they eat a lot of pepper, they usually say that tatashi is not hot. But for me, it's hot. Even when I remove the seeds, tatashi is very hot. I mean, very hot for me. And for any non-Nigerian, they will find it very hot. But red bell pepper is the shape of the bell of a bell, and it's thicker. Red bell pepper has lots of water in it. It's thicker. Tatashi is just like paprika, but hot, spicy hot. That's the difference. Hi Floret. Hi Kingsley. Yes, jollof rice is my favorite. One pot recipes. Yes, jollof rice is my, but I like Another type of rice I like is boiled white rice with ofe. Hey, that one is, I like, if you know me, I like very traditional food. Boiled white rice and ofe is oh, I love it so much. In fact, I think I love it more than jollof rice. But if it's rice that you have to cook everything in the pot, like jollof rice, coconut rice, fried rice, jollof rice is my favorite. Yeah. Obinna, uh, you heard that Abia and Imo people cook jollof rice differently from Anambra people. Like I said, when it comes to rice recipes, I don't think it's a matter of tribe, to be honest. I think it's a matter of individual families, like one family, even in the same Igbo land or even in the same Anambra state, you'll find that this family cooks jollof rice differently. This family cooks this. I don't think it's a tribal thing. I wouldn't say that. When it comes to the traditional rice recipes like ofapo, banga rice, all those very traditional, I would say. But you see, jollof rice, it's kind of universal. It's kind of, I don't think it's tribal. You're welcome, Victoria. You're welcome. Floret, yes. Burnt. It's not smoky, it's burnt. Thank you, Pam D Force. Thank you that you love the channel. Thank you. I'm glad. Rookie007 is asking what gives party jollof that taste. If you cook jollof rice with wood fires, that is what gives. And then these days there are lots of spices and seasonings that people add to jollof rice, that they go to the shop and then they just mix and match lots of spices and seasonings. And there's even a seasoning that is in a container that is called jollof rice seasoning now. So who knows what is in there? But yeah, all these seasonings taste good. Like a lot of them, when you eat it, they actually taste good. And but some of them, with some party jollof rice, you eat it and they add so much seasoning that you actually think that you're eating seasoning, not jollof rice. So it's good to find a balance. You try different things, like when you go to the shops and you see. But for me, I just add Nigerian curry powder, season my chicken very well, add lots of onion, fry your tomatoes and the paste and the peppers very well, and it's fine. Hi Michelle. Hi Zod. Zod, you're late. We finished eating the jollof rice. We are now discussing it. Hi Michelle. Hi Blue Moon. I'm in Spain, Blue Moon. Pam Defos is asking what's my opinion in the use of Maggi cubes in a lot of African dishes. Is that something new? By Maggi cubes, I'm sure you mean seasoning cubes. It's not something new. Ever since I was born, we were using seasoning cubes. I don't think it's new. My opinion is it's seasoning. Some people say it causes that, it causes this. It's seasoning. It's just like, I don't know. They say it contains MSG, but my opinion about MSG is that if you're allergic to MSG, that is a different issue. But if you're not allergic to it, I believe these seasoning cubes, even if some of them contain MSG, it's in small amounts. It's different to eating Ajinomoto. I remember when I was younger, there was this seasoning called white Maggi, which is like MSG itself, that people, especially people, were using it to season their meal. The thing, like once you eat a meal seasoned with that MSG, Ajinomoto, you will know. We called it white Maggi in those days, and lots of restaurants, I think till now restaurants use it because a small quantity goes a long way in seasoning the food. So for commercial food vendors, they just dump that in the meals. That is why it's not good. Like sometimes you eat in some restaurants, you have stomach ache and you have to go to the hospital to get a cure for that. But I believe when you add 1 or 2 cubes to a big pot of soup, I don't see anything wrong in that, because it will be flat. It will have a flat taste. When they say you go natural, use rosemary, use this, use that, mix all these herbs, but to be honest, all those things, when you use for instance rosemary and all that, oregano and all that, to cook say bitter leaf soup, the taste will be off. The taste will be off. So that's my opinion anyway. But I have on my channel I have 2 videos about how to prepare your own seasoning cubes. But it's for people that have like serious MSG allergy, that they actually get sick when they eat MSG. But if you don't get sick from these things, worrying about some things will kill you faster than some of these ingredients, to be honest. So so it's not something new. Ever since I was born in the 70s, I've seen seasoning cubes being used. Michelle is asking how long I've been married. Michelle, were you not here during the last video? I've answered all that in that one. Today we are talking about jollof rice. Yes, Obinna is right. Local seasoning will not work with a lot of meals. No, it won't work. Even that Obey, Obinna is telling Pandi for us that local Obey will not work with jollof rice and things like that. Only local food, yes. Even that Obey, even you can't even add Obey to say bitter leaf soup. You want to use ogiri, the real ogiri Igbo, for bitter leaf soup or ras soup. If you add Obey to it, it won't even taste nice. And bitter leaf soup and ora soup are as traditional as you can get when it comes to Nigerian cooking. Yes, Anon, like Obina, like I said, white Maggi is still there. It's still in the market. I saw it in a market in Nigeria recently. The restaurant owners still use it because it's so easy. Like one big pot of meat, they use 1 packet to season it, and it's cheaper for them than buying lots of seasoning cubes. So it's still there. Pam Diffos, is it because of price? Price of what? Price of what? Zod is asking how often I go to Nigeria for ingredients. I don't specifically go to Nigeria for ingredients. When I travel to Nigeria, I go to Nigeria quite often. For instance, this year, I've been to Nigeria twice, and I may go again before the year runs out. So whenever I go to Nigeria, I come back with ingredients. But I don't say, okay, I'm going to Nigeria to bring ingredients. I don't do that. I've never done that. I have to have a reason for going to Nigeria before I go. And then on my way back, I'll bring ingredients. Michelle is asking, what do I think about baked jollof rice? It's fine, so long as, but you have to cover it. Just make sure you cover it when you're baking it so that the top will not be crunchy. I don't know if you've seen my video for baked moi moi. Hey, I use the foil to cover it. So after putting the jollof rice in the whatever you're using to be the baking container, cover it with who asked that? Cover it with a foil so that it will steam in there so that it doesn't dry out. Apart from that, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly fine. Where am I? Zod, you asked how often I go. It depends on, okay, you asked how often I go, and then you said you asked because I said the local spices will make the food taste different. Yes, if you have, for instance, ehuru, calabash nutmeg, or ehu, calabash nutmeg. When you're preparing pepper soup, if you don't have ehu inside there, no matter all the alternatives, like Western alternatives that you use, that pepper soup will taste off. Yes, so something like ehu, if you don't have it and you prepare pepper soup, it will not taste like pepper soup. So that's the difference. That's the one instance. And then what else? What else? A lot of things you can prepare without the traditional ingredients and they will still be fine, but some do not have alternatives. For instance, ora as a oha as a leaf does not have an alternative. So if you want to cook oha soup or ora soup, you must use ora. You can't use spinach, because if you use spinach, it's no longer ora, because ora soup got its name from the leaf. So if the leaf is missing, it's no longer ora. Osage almost. Hello. You're saying, asking if you can see the way I make jollof rice. I have a video of jollof rice on my channel, so you can check it out. It's the same, the way I make. I mean, it's not, I use the tomato stew base to make it. I didn't fry tomatoes from scratch, but I also have a video about how to fry the tomato paste. It's a detailed video, but in that video I just added to tomato stew that I've already prepared. So you can check out these two videos for how I prepare jollof rice. It's very straightforward, simple. Floret. Yeah. What can I do when you asked how do I cope when I'm at sea without Nigerian food? That's one of the hazards of working, you know. In Igbo we say ego di n'ogu. When you're finding money, you have to aguanta. You have to bear some things while you're looking for money. It's just like even people that a lot of work that we do, we don't like the job, but because we need the dough, we do it. So that's one of the downsides of the job. When you're there, you have to eat. Like I said that in my follow me to work video, that they don't have Nigerian food, but I always find something that I'll eat. I mean, I enjoy other foods and I'm someone that adapts easily. I adapt easily to any situation. So even if it's just only sometimes I may be eating the same thing for lunch there for 1 week, probably because it's just the one thing that I like, and I don't mind. It's so long as there's food in my stomach. Having variety of food is overrated. It's overrated. So yeah, I kind of tune out of Nigerian food when I'm there, and I eat whatever I see there. If we have a good chef, because they send different chefs to us, that's a bonus, because so long as the meal is delicious, I'll eat it, whatever. That's the hazard of the job. It comes with the job. Obinna is asking if party jollof rice is always smoky in the east. Yes, because in the east, once they want to cook, even though now they have started cooking jollof rice with big gas burners. Like these days, the caterers come with big gas burners, so it's not really as smoky. But once you cook it with wood fires, the smokiness must happen. So it doesn't matter where you cook it, once you cook it with. Thank you. You're welcome, Sod. Pandifos is asking, what are some easy dishes for blacks abroad to try to get into traditional African dishes? I don't think I understand this question. Are you talking about food fusion here, like some foreign dishes that we can customize to become Nigerian food? Is that the question? Let me understand it. No more questions. Okay, Ezukam is asking, how can I use tin tomato for jollof rice? Yes, only tin tomato, that is the tomato paste. Yes, you can use only that, but you need to fry it very well. If you watch my Nigerian beef and chicken stew, the one that I uploaded recently, you will see me, because it's very thick, you see me add water to it. But if it's a conk one you're talking about when you say tin tomato, you add some water to it, then fry it, and it has its own tangy taste. So make sure the tangy taste is gone. Don't just add the tomato and add rice. No, it will slap. It will be sour, like it will have a tangy taste, not sour. To have a tangy taste, so make sure you fry the tomato paste till the tangy taste is gone, and then you can use it normally like the tomato stew to cook your jollof rice. Yes, Obina, yes, the smoky flavor is it doesn't even exist with those electric cookers. To be honest, all the flavor in the jollof rice comes from the seasoning they add to it. It doesn't have that smoky flavor, no, because it's gas burner. Pam Diffus, what are the easiest types of food to make? Yam recipes are very easy, but on the other side, it's very difficult to find yam outside Nigeria. But you can use potatoes to prepare. The only difference is that, especially when you use spuds, that's Irish potatoes, they're not as tasty as yam, because it's not yam is sweet and much more starchy than potatoes. That's the only difference. But all those Nigerian recipes you find on my channel, you can use potatoes to prepare them. You can use sweet potatoes, you can use pods, yeah, to prepare them. They are very easy to prepare and easy and quick. Yam. You're welcome, Florette. It's my pleasure. Zod. No, Obinna, no. No, Obinna. You can't serve ukpogede and ukpoka with jollof. No, no. They are strange bedfellows. Don't do it. But you can serve banga rice. You see where I'm going with this? You can serve banga rice and concoction rice and stew ofaku rice. Serve with stew ofaku with ukpogede. You can serve ukpogede with it, but even ukpoka no. Ukpoka is a meal on its own. Just serve it on its own. Don't add jollof. Zod is said I should speak Igbo for you guys. What do you want me to say in Igbo? Type what you want me to say in Igbo and I'll say it in Igbo for you. Type it in English and then I'll say it in Igbo. Florette, I'm glad. BB, am I from America? No. Hi, Annie Splatter, hi. Welcome on board. BB, no, I'm not from America. I'm from Nigeria. And I live in Spain. Zod. Okay, Zod wants me to say Zod is awesome in Igbo. The way I'll say it is Zod. Hi. Zoda buka madu. That's how I'll say it in Igbo. Like, if I want to tell someone you're awesome, I'll say ibuka madu. Hi, ibuka madu. Like, literally what that means is, like, ibuka madu is you're such a nice person, you're such a good person, I can count on you, you know, something like that. So awesome doesn't really have a word for word translation in Igbo, so that's how I would say it. If I'm trying to tell someone you're awesome, I say ibuka madu, edeka. Yes, Anon Obinna. Jollof was so pale in the 80s. I don't know why. They thought it looked cool with being... But these days, with social media, people are dumping tomato stew inside it so that it will pop on social media. You know, a lot of meals that people present on social media are not the way those meals are normally. Like, they just, like, for the, you know, they're like doing it now for the photo, more than how it used to be. And, you know, like, rebranding Nigerian food, kind of, you know, it looks better, of course. It's just like eforiro. The eforiro that you find in Nigerian restaurants, they look like vegetable soup. Like, they look like edikaikon. You hardly see any redness in it. But these days on social media, what you see is eforiro that looks like stew. It's so red. And I'm like, no. So a lot of people is... Hi, Anis Peter. Anis Plata, sorry. So, yeah. So, Obinna, we're doing most of the what you see now for the internet, not necessarily for... So, in those days, it was so pale. But these days, people are adding more tomato stew to make it look better. Blessing Mike, yes, I'm married. Fatima is asking if we need the stock of the chicken for jollof. Yes, you need it. Without the chicken stock, the rice will be tasteless. You need it so much. You need it so much. Bibi, I come to America, I mean, for work. I come to the US when I was working for, there's one of the companies I worked with. I was working in the Gulf of Mexico for 2 years straight. Like, there was even a time I lived in Mexico so that I can go to Gulf of Mexico easily. And in total, I think I worked there in Gulf of Mexico for 2 years. Not I was going offshore there. So I used to come to the US a lot, but these days I prefer to work in the North Sea, which is very close to me here. A few hours flight I'm there, but in the US, no, it's so far away. Florette is asking when I'll be bringing another recipe book, or okay, will you be bringing out another recipe book? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, because you see that first cookbook, the one I have in the on sale now. It's especially the first part of the book, you know, the beginning part of the book, where I talked about lots of ingredients, like the background information about the ingredients, how to use them, when to use them. I believe that for me to come out with another book, I need to have that kind of information as well, like that kind of valuable information for the second book. I don't want a situation where I'll just write a recipe book for just recipes. I like to give people more, like give you more information in the book, not just writing recipes, no. Because those recipes, to be honest, that on my website, it's people that wanted more or wanted to have a physical book in their hands or in their gadgets that were requesting for that first one. And for the second one, yes, I've been getting requests to make another like a volume 2, but I don't think I've gotten enough requests, and I don't think I have enough front material. I call it front material to make another book. When I have enough material, I will make another book when it becomes absolutely necessary. Because, you know, you see that first book, anybody that masters the recipes in that book has already mastered 80% of Nigerian recipes, because all the soups there, any other Nigerian soup you want to cook is prepared that same way. It's just the different ingredients. So it's not yet absolutely necessary. When it is, I will. And this platter says that I'm aging backwards. Anon, Obinna, yes, you say that some people just mix rice and stew together and call it jollof. That one is mixed jollof rice. We have mixed rice that people call fried rice, and then we have mixed jollof rice that people that's what we do. We do with leftover rice and stew. You know, in those days when you prepare rice and stew for maybe lunch on a Sunday, on Monday afternoon, you just pour the stew into the rice and warm it up and eat. It's leftover rice. And thank you for the compliment, Annie's platter, that I'm aging backwards. I don't know why. I've been aging steadily since, yeah. Stop on Jollof. People just mix rice and stew. I kill it. Obinna, yes. When you do it like that, the cut is so pale that you need stew to eat it. You know, when you know your jollof rice is so pale, when people start asking for stew when they're eating it. So Riola is asking any tips for perfecting seasoning with consistency. I believe it's just about preparing it several times. You know, practice makes perfect. And you just keep taking note of the quantities of the seasoning you add each time. And then when you find the sweet spot for you, like this is it, oh, this is it, I love this, right? Then you take note of the quantity of seasoning you added and continue using that. I mean, even me, up till now, I don't add the same quantity of seasoning when I'm cooking 2 cups of rice. I don't add the same quantity of seasoning every time, because you know the way I learned how to cook, I don't cook with specific quantities of ingredients. No, I just add, look at the meal I'm cooking and add salt. The way I feel, the quantity of salt I feel should be enough for it, and I add, for instance, if it's jollof rice that I'm cooking, I add curry powder, Nigerian curry powder, that I feel like the next time I may add 1 tablespoon today and add 1.5 the next day, because I don't measure it, I just put it in from the container. So it varies all the time. So any day that you prepare this right and say, oh my god, I really threw down with this one, I got it, this is the perfect, then you just take note of the quantity you used, of the seasoning you used, and continue using it. That's it. Fatima is asking, what is my go-to ratio for jollof? How many tomatoes, tatashi, onions, scotch bonnet for a house portion? I don't know. How house, family, how many, what is the number, like the members of the family? How many people? Because like in my home, there are 4 of us, and two of us are kids, so they don't even eat adult portion. But the way I prepare jollof rice, I can't even tell you now. If you watch my tomato stew video, the fry your tomato stew video, if you watch it and you watch the Nigerian beef and chicken stew video that I uploaded recently, you will see that I did not use the same quantity of, the same ratio of tomatoes to tomato paste to pepper. In fact, in my in my fry your best tomato stew video, I didn't even use peppers. So once I make the stew, if you go and watch that those two videos, you see the quantities of pepper I added and all that. Once I make that stew and I want to cook jollof rice for like cups, 3 cups of rice, I would add 600 mils of tomato paste, because tomato stew, because I make this tomato stew. I can't even remember the last time, probably when I was still in secondary school, that I cooked jollof rice from scratch with tomatoes, pepper. No, I don't do that. Never, and I will never do that. Like, I know that some people have been requesting that I make such a video where I cook everything from scratch. Yes, I'll upload it for you people sometime in the future, hopefully before the year runs out. But the way I cook my jollof rice all the time, ever since I was in university, because I figured it out myself. My mom did not teach me that. My mom used to prepare jollof rice from scratch, tomatoes, no. But me, when I figured it out myself, that if I prepare tomato stew and store in my freezer, whenever I want to cook jollof rice, I just add the stew. It started making my life so easy, and that's how I've been. And I tell you, I was in university in the 90s, so you can imagine how many years ago that was. So that's how I've been preparing jollof rice. So I would prepare 3 cups of rice with 600 mils of tomato stew. Let me find out what 600 mils for you is in cups. 600 mils in cups. I use Google to translate. So 600 mils of tomato stew in cups is 2.5 cups of tomato stew. And sometimes when I look at it, after cooking the rice, when I look at it and it's not popping, I'll add more stew and stir it, the final stirring. When you watch my jollof rice video, you see how I mix the rice after cooking it, because you need to mix it so that they will have an equal amount of flavor all over. Because if you leave it just like that and be serving it, because it's boiled at some point, some parts will have like different flavors than to the other, and then you just mix everything. So at that last one, I will add tomato stew because it's already fried, so I'll add it and mix everything together. And that's how I've been cooking my jollof. So I can't even tell you if I'm cooking 2 cups of rice now, I use so number of tomatoes. I prefer to work with the quantity of tomato stew, because sometimes you buy 1 kilo of tomatoes, but because that 1 kilo is not as ripe as another 1 kilo of tomatoes, the redness differs. So it's about redness for me, like the redness of the stew. That is what determines the quantity you add, if that makes sense. I hope I answered your question. To avoid all this confusion about jollof rice, it's better to go to tomato stew way. It has made my life so easy. That's why I preach it. Ever since the day I started my website, that's what I've been preaching. Tomato stew, because if you learn to do that, especially if you live outside Nigeria where you have 24/7 electricity, prepare the tomato stew, store in your freezer. Any day you want to cook jollof rice, you just add the tomato stew. Watch my Nigerian jollof rice video and you see how you prefer it that way, rather than every time you're trying to calculate quantity of. I can't even calculate that now, because it depends on how ripe the tomatoes are, and it depends on the type of tomato. Because like Roma tomatoes, 1 kilo of tomatoes has more redness and makes more stew when you compare that to 1 kilo of, say, Canary tomatoes, because these are 2 different types of tomatoes. So that's how I will answer that. I don't want to tell you it's 10 tomatoes, 10 pepper. No, that would be deceiving you, because it's been 30 years since I stopped cooking rice that way. So Riola, essential seasoning for jollof rice. Essential seasoning, what you can't do without. For me, what I can't do without in jollof rice is thyme. You need thyme when seasoning the meat. You need thyme, you need onions, you need seasoning cubes, chicken flavor. A lot of people are against seasoning cubes. I don't know if you have any other. Then Nigerian curry powder. I always call it Nigerian curry powder because I don't want people to go and add Caribbean curry powder. You have Caribbean curry powder, which is hot and spicy. You have Indian curry powder. Oh my god, you don't even want to go there because it's hot and spicy. That's not the curry powder I mean. And those ones don't have the same flavor. This Nigerian curry powder that I'm always talking about has this unique flavor that works very well with stews, Nigerian stews, and Nigerian jollof rice. So, and that's the same curry powder that we use to cook Nigerian fried rice, which gives it that unique, is it lime green color? Yes. So that's why I keep stressing is Nigerian curry powder. Please don't go and add Indian curry powder because it will not give you that taste and it will be so spicy hot. So let me see if I can Google Nigerian curry powder. Cross. Images. Okay, let me change this. This is the one of the most popular Nigerian curry powder brand, Ducros. I don't know if you guys can see it. So when you want to search, you search for Ducros curry powder. You can download the image and show to your local African food shop. They always have it. At least this Ducros is quite popular. They always have it. Another one is Lion. Lion curry powder. This one is the classic one that we were using in Nigeria for years before Ducros. Ducros came out is a new product in Nigeria, at least in Nigeria. But this Lion is the one that I grew up. I saw this lion where I literally became a human being and started seeing this lion. It's no longer that common these days. Ducros, I think, has overtaken them. But this Ducros and Lion, go to any African shop outside Nigeria, they have it. They, at least in London, unless you live in a very remote place. Okay, where I live, in my local supermarket, they sell the perfect curry powder. It's not, let me see if I can. Okay, this curry powder is neither Ducros nor Lion, but it has the same taste. Because when you live outside Nigeria, you just need to keep trying these things. I tried different kinds of ingredients labeled as curry before I saw that this one has the perfect Nigerian curry taste. So try in your local supermarket. Go to the seasoning, the seasoning section, and when you see, you can see this is Spanish. I live in Spain, so they also put it as curry. So try it. There's another one here that we bought sometime, but it's very spicy and it doesn't have that classic taste. So I would say keep trying until you find something. Here where I live, it's predominantly Spanish people that live here, so it's very, very difficult to find a lot of Nigerian food ingredients. But we just keep trying and trying and trying until we find one that matches. So how many things have I mentioned? Seasoning cube, this curry powder, thyme, onions, of course chicken, because chicken has its own flavor. Hard chicken, hen, it's very good. What else? Then of course tomato stew that is well fried. To be honest, these things alone make very delicious jollof rice. It depends on the quality of the stock you got from the chicken. If you're using this there's this chicken, soft chicken, it's very tasteless, flat taste, like when you use it to cook jollof rice or any meal at all. It is the only meal I use it to cook is my mixed vegetables curry sauce. It works well in that. I don't know why it tastes so good in that, but when I use it to prepare any other thing, that kind of soft chicken is so tasteless. That's why some people use it to prepare their meals and then they come to me and say it's tasteless, it doesn't taste, but it's the chicken. Change the chicken and bam, Problem solved. So Fatima, I hope that that my answer was helpful to you. I'm sorry, I don't do that cooking from scratch for jollof rice. No, I prepare my tomato stew and take it from there. Rachel, what do I do if there is too much water in the jollof rice and it is already cooked? Okay, you know, this thing has never happened to me, because if you follow my, I would advise you to watch my turmeric rice video. I explain this science of cooking one pot recipes there. Okay, if you parboil the rice, you never, if you do this thing I'm trying to tell you now, you will never have this problem. And the good thing is that no matter the quantity of rice you're cooking, this is still applicable. That's why I like, that's the method I always use when I'm cooking, and that's what I share with people whenever I'm sharing these recipes. No matter the quantity of rice you're cooking, when you parboil the rice correctly, I explained this in my turmeric rice video. Parboil the rice correctly, and you will, when you put it in the pot the second time, make sure that the water, the liquid, everything including the stock, the additional water you add, is at the same level as the rice. Once that quantity of water, the same level as the rice, when you stir it, it's same level as the rice. I say this in every video where I cook rice like that, one pot rice recipe. Once that water dries up, that rice is done. You will never ever have too much water. So when you say you have too much water in jollof rice already cooked, okay, let me now say that somebody happens to have it. What I will do is I'll use a serrated spoon. Serrated spoon is something like this. What I mean by this spoon, I'll use this spoon and take the rice and put it in another container. You know, as you're removing it from the pot, the water will be in the pot. Depending on the quantity of water, the water will be in the pot. And you put that to the side in another container, and then turn up the heat. I'll turn up the heat. It will, so that the water, because now I'm cooking only the rice, because remember the rice is done, you've taken it out, so the liquid is still in the pot. So I cook the liquid till it dries up, if possible on high heat, so that it dries quicker, until it dries up without burning, and then I add the rice back into the pot and stir it. That's how I will do it. But I don't know if you believe me, but that thing has never happened to me, that I am cooking rice and there's too much water in the rice. Just follow that science of cooking jollof rice and you will never ever have that problem. I've never had that problem. I've never had that problem of too much water in the rice. So, but this is what I would do. Assuming someone called me on the phone now and said, oh Flo, my rice is soggy and it's done and there's still water. This is what I would do. Take out the rice, leave the water in there, cook it till it dries, and then add the rice back. You don't want to throw away the water, because the liquid, let me call it liquid now because I know it's not like water. You don't want to throw away the liquid, because that's the flavor. You're throwing away flavor when you throw that away. Obina is asking if people serve other types of jollof at parties. No, in Igbo parties, no. It's mostly that classic jollof rice. Classic jollof rice. No. You're asking coconut or mixed vegetables jollof rice. No. You wouldn't see that at parties unless it's a really small party. I mean, maybe a family invited a few people, and then the wife or the person, you know, usually it's a small kind of party, and then probably I would cook rice. I would say, okay, instead of serving traditional jollof, classic jollof rice, let me just change things up a bit and serve coconut rice. But if it's like traditional marriage where hundreds of people are coming, no. I've never seen that, because it's quite stressful to to prepare the coconut jollof rice. Then you have to prepare the coconut milk and no, usually for such big Igbo parties they would. And another thing is, you see this mixed vegetables jollof rice, assuming you're having the party in the village where you have a lot of you know, like senior citizens coming. They will not eat it, they will not like it because of those vegetables in there. If you prepare salad in an Igbo party in the village, nobody will touch the salad. They tell you, am I eating salad? Am I goat that eats grass? So you don't want to prepare that. You want to prepare something that lots of people will eat, including the senior citizens. So it's not common. Elusive Babe is asking, how do you make sure you get the right texture? Like I explained, if you follow the science of cooking Nigerian jollof rice, I call it the science of cooking jollof rice because it's actually science. Pre-cook the rice well, add same level quantity of water when you're cooking it the second time. Once that water dries up, you have the perfect texture for jollof rice. It will be done, it will not be soggy, it will not be burnt. Maybe later I'll put the link to all these rice recipes that I'm talking about because I know that I have so many videos out there and a lot of people are overwhelmed with the numbers of videos. I'll put them in the link in the description box of this video when I'm done. You're welcome, Fatima. Yes, Obinna, not everybody has a freezer to store the stew, to be fair. Yes, I know, but I always say in Nigeria, when people ask me, I want to equip my kitchen, what should I buy? The number one thing I buy, okay, the other day someone asked me during the last live video, somebody asked me, what do I recommend that a new bride should buy to equip her kitchen with? I mentioned fridge and freezer. If the person is in Nigeria, I'll say fridge, freezer, generator. If you don't have generator in Nigeria, I would actually go without a lot of things and make sure I have generator. Because, you know, the thing is, if you've not stayed with 24-hour electricity, you will not know what you're missing. But once you've stayed with 24-hour electricity and know the benefits, how it will save you time and even money. Because preparing food from scratch every day, for instance, if you don't have a generator or a freezer, you're always preparing food from scratch. It's more expensive and it's more time consuming. I don't have that kind of time. I would rather buy time with some money, save up, buy time, and get these basic things. It's unfortunate that our government cannot provide it for us, but what can we do? You have to generate your own electricity, build your own roads, get your own water in that country. You're like a local government running yourself. So what can we do? So that's why I say it's essential. I can forgo a lot of things. I can forgo buying a lot of luxury items so long as I have a freezer, a working freezer. It's very essential. It will save you time and money. That's why I always recommend it. But if you don't have it, you have to cook it from scratch every time. So Osage, you say that your stew bites in the mouth no matter how you fry it. Is it the tin tomatoes or the ordinary tomatoes that is causing it? Both of them cause it because each of them have their own tangy taste. We will close soon because we've been on for a long time. So Osage, it's sometimes you say no matter how you fry it, but this thing takes hours and hours and a lot of patience, and you need to fry it. And you need to fry it at very low heat, so that because if the heat is up and once it starts burning, you think, oh, it's fine because it's burning. No, but it's burning because the heat is too high. So reduce the heat to low and patiently fry it. Once you fry it long enough, and once it looks like the one in the video with streaks of oil, it should, and then you can add I know in northern Nigeria they add potash to tomatoes to get rid of the tangy taste. I've never tried that, and I try as much as possible not to add potash to what I'm cooking. Even when I'm making isiewu or making abacha, I reduce the quantity of potash I am adding. You can try that. I'm not recommending, but you can try it. I've heard that that's what they use. You can try baking soda, because I found that baking soda has the same qualities as the edible potash that we use in cooking. So you can try baking soda as well. I've never tried these two, but you can try it, because I've never had any problem of after frying my stew I still have the tangy taste. Then you can add Nigerian curry powder. Nigerian curry powder, the taste is quite strong, and it takes away the the last remnants of the tangy taste, because sometimes you even finish frying, yeah, you notice like a slight, once you add it, it's no longer there. So you can try this and see if it works for you. You can try these 3 things. Annie's platter, you made a wedu stew yesterday and you used plum tomatoes. You reckon you should use same for jollof rice? Plum tomatoes for a wedu soup. I've never heard of that. You want to know if you can use that stew to eat rice? Or you're asking if you can use plum tomatoes to cook jollof rice? Yes. Plum tomatoes are one of the tomatoes I recommend for preparing Nigerian stews and subsequently Nigerian jollof rice. So we call it, yes, Obinna has answered you. Yeah. Yes, like Obinna, Annie's platter, like Obinna said, plum tomatoes, I recommend it. In my recent video, I uploaded that video this month, Nigerian beef and chicken stew. I talked about the kinds of tomatoes you can use, because here you say you're in Denmark, in Europe, and anywhere outside Nigeria, there are so many types of tomatoes. In Nigeria, we actually have one type of tomato, which is plum tomatoes. So, but outside Nigeria, you have so many types, and they also they have lots of water in them, and they're so tangy. So when you use those ones, the stew, no matter how you fry it, the stew will still be tangy. But once you use plum tomatoes, especially plum tomatoes, I use canary tomatoes as well. Canary tomatoes are quite close to plum tomatoes when it comes to the amount of tanginess. And then Roma tomatoes is good as well, but Roma tomatoes, I find it has a very strong tangy taste. But sometimes it's actually the only one in season here that is close to what I want to use, and I use it. But it's my last, like my last resort. I always go for plum tomatoes, then canary tomatoes, or because canary tomatoes is the one you can find all year round where I live. So when plum tomatoes are not in season, I use that. But Roma tomatoes, unless these other two are not there, or the ones they have in the shop, because sometimes they have the canary tomatoes but it's already soft, I don't want to buy it. And then I can buy, if the Roma tomatoes are fresher and I actually really need tomatoes that day, then I buy that one. But I usually don't buy Roma tomatoes. You can Google all these tomatoes to see the ones I need, so that you don't buy them. You don't buy the wrong ones. You're welcome, Seriola. Obinna is asking how my mom cooks jollof rice. Like I said, my mom cooks jollof rice from scratch. She gets tomatoes, gets tomato paste, fry it from scratch and cooks. That's how she cooks. But I don't cook jollof rice that way. But after she has fried it, it's the same process. Annie's platter, you're saying that you figure that Nigerian plum tomatoes and European plum is quite different in texture. No, not really. Maybe you're talking about Roma tomatoes. Roma tomatoes are a little bit different. They look like plum tomatoes, but are a little bit different. But if it's plum, it's the same as the one we have in Nigeria. It's the same. Obinna, I'm not saying that no one eats it. I'm saying that I'm not saying that no one eats salad in Igbo parties. I'm just saying that the older generation will not touch it. They will tell you that how they will ask you, how can I eat raw vegetables? They don't like salad. So that's what I mean. I'm saying when I said be careful how you prepare. Excuse me. Be careful how you prepare mixed vegetables jollof rice in Igbo parties, because those vegetables in there may deter a lot of people, especially the older generation, from enjoying the meal. So that's not that nobody eats it, but the older generation, they don't like eating salad or anything vegetables. No, they don't like it. Yes, Obinna, it's mostly beef that they use for in Igbo parties jollof. Like I said, when you're cooking for a large crowd, like a traditional marriage ceremony, which you know that one invitation will bring like 5 people, they use beef because it's cheaper and it's easier to cut it into small pieces that you will give people per plate. But chicken, for you to buy the chicken that will go round and then you start cutting it into sizable pieces, it's so beef is easier. You just go to the market, buy beef, and then they cut it to the size you want. Granted 558 is asking if I use canned tomato puree in jollof. Okay, this canned tomato puree you're asking about is fresh tomatoes that have been blended and put in cans. You can use it if you want, but I don't use it because it's preservatives. I try as much as possible to avoid preservatives when I can. So I always use fresh tomatoes. I use the other conch tomato paste in a tin because there's really no option for me. I have to use it because it helps to pop especially when I'm preparing tomato stew that I'll use to cook jollof rice. I like to add the tinned one because I don't have an alternative. But if I'm going to use that tomato puree that is canned, no, I'll just buy fresh. But you can use it if you want. You can use it, but you need to fry it, because that one has a tangy taste as well. You need to actually, because it's quite watery, you need to boil it. You just treat it. If you watch my Nigerian beef and chicken stew, you see how from where I blended it. So I boiled it first and then added oil to fry it. So you need to treat that canned tomato puree like just fresh tomatoes that you just blended. So don't add it directly into your jollof rice because the jollof rice will be tangy. To have a tangy taste, you need to boil it to dry up all the water, and then you fry it like I did in the stew. Obinna, yes, mixed vegetables jollof rice is not traditional. It's just recent adaptation. I actually, when I uploaded that recipe, a lot of people were asking me they've never seen that kind of rice before. It's something that we cooked in our home. It's not something that is quite common. You may see it in restaurants, in the one they call continental restaurants in those days. But recently, it's gaining popularity and people are now cooking it in their homes. In fact, the very first time I uploaded that mixed vegetables jollof rice video on my channel before I uploaded the conventional classic jollof rice video. So when I uploaded that, people were like, this is interesting, I've never seen this. Some people were like, this is not how to prepare jollof rice. Which one is adding carrot to so to show you that they've never heard of it. So it was later that I uploaded the classic one, and yeah, it's quite new. It's just something that we did in our home, and I uploaded it on my channel, and people were like, some people were, how people receive something, and people are like, oh, that's interesting, I've never seen jollof rice prepared this way, I'll try it. And then others were like, this is not jollof rice, what do you mean by adding carrot and green pepper to jollof rice? So it's not common at all. Yes, you're asking if I think there's a way different generations cook jollof rice. Yes, my grandmother, the way she would cook jollof rice is with palm oil. In those days, vegetable oil is something new. even tomatoes is something new. I mean, cooking rice with tomatoes is very new. Very, like, my grandma will just basically prepare banga rice. Yeah, I think that's because they will make what do you call it? They will make the palm fruit concentrate and add it to the rice and cook banga rice. Otherwise, they will cook ofaku, that is the one that is boiled white rice and stew. All right, I think I've answered every question because this one is repeating now. It's now repeating. I think I will sign off now. I've answered every question. You're welcome, granted. You're welcome. And you're asking what are my thoughts about adding butter or margarine to jollof rice. My thoughts are that I cannot imagine them because I don't know, it's just too much extra oil in the food, and I can't imagine adding that much of extra oil in my food. I just don't like the idea. That's my thoughts. I don't like the idea of adding butter or margarine to jollof rice. I don't. And if you're eating the rice, unless it's piping hot, I would think that it will be like you know how when butter is, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the idea. It's just extra. To be honest, when I cook jollof rice with my tomato stew, because before I store my tomato stew, I pour out all the oil as much as possible. So what you basically have there is a wild fried tomato with as little oil as possible. And then on the day I cook the rice, I don't add any other oil. The other oil that goes into the meal is chicken oil. That's the oil from boiling the chicken. And that's it. I don't see, people say that it's for flavor, but I don't see the need. I don't see the need to add butter to jollof rice. Lindo Kekokoli, hello. Do I prefer using basmati rice or long grain? I prefer, okay, we have the traditional original basmati rice, which is so soft. I don't like it in jollof rice. It's a mess when you use that one, like the Indian basmati, like the original basmati rice. When you use it to prepare jollof rice, it's a mess. It's a disaster. You really need to know your onions before you can successfully use that kind of basmati rice. Excuse me, to cook one pot Nigerian rice recipe. But so I prefer the long grain. But there's this golden seller basmati that is available in the UK. That rice is basically long grain parboiled rice, but with a basmati rice shape and length, like it's long and slender like basmati rice, but it's technically long grain parboiled rice because it's very hard. You can parboil it before cooking, and the recipe is not ruined in any way. So I will use that kind of basmati rice. But you see the Indian basmati rice, the nice one, that one I prefer it for just boiled white rice. I won't use it it's too much. I have a video on my channel where I use that kind of basmati rice to cook jollof rice. I uploaded that video because I was getting a lot of requests for it, but I wouldn't try it again because it was so much stress, and it wasn't even tasty, like as tasty as the long grain, using long grain parboiled rice. So I wouldn't use that traditional basmati rice to prepare jollof rice. It's too much stress. Okay, Linda, you feel like adding butter makes it mushy. I can't imagine it. Like, I don't know. I don't see the need because it's just too much oil. No. Obinna, you're asking if I'm implying when I say that grandmas don't really cook rice with tomato and vegetable oil. In their generation, when they were when they were young girls and young boys in their generation, I am sure that when you come to parties, what you will see is boiled white rice and ofe akwu. That's what you will see in a party. Or even, they may not even cook rice, because I tell you, in those days, rice is like something you eat only on special occasions. Maybe they will eat swallow, they will cook bitter leaf soup. At least in my place, I know they will cook bitter leaf soup and akpu for whatever occasion it is in those days. And because rice is like, oh my god, rice is like gourmet. In those days, rice is gourmet food. It's not something that you eat anyhow, and it's supposed to be expensive as well, because you know where I come from, they don't plant rice, so it's quite expensive. You have to, and it's seen as birds food, that it doesn't belly full somebody. So when they come to an event where one dish is prepared, it's pretty much akpu that they prepare. But of course, in this day and age, they are still alive. Our grandmas and grandpas are still alive. They are not the ones doing the cooking now. So when we have a party, we cook jollof rice. But in their generation, I'm pretty sure they were serving more of. I'll ask my grandma this question anyway. I'm pretty sure they were serving swallow, like bitter leaf soup and akpu in those days, even at parties like weddings and traditional marriages. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that, because rice is an importation. If you really look into it in detail. I can tell you that my grandma still, if you tell her now to cook rice, I'm pretty sure that if you give her money now and say, grandma, go to the market and buy ingredients for rice and cook for us, she will naturally gravitate towards white rice and ofe akwu. Or, assuming you didn't tell her what you want, just say, mama, go to the market, buy ingredients and cook rice for us. She will naturally gravitate towards white rice and ofe akwu. Or if you want a one pot rice recipe, she will gravitate towards banga rice or concoction rice. That's what she'll gravitate to. It's natural for them. It's natural. I'm telling you, unless you... Ofe akwu is, in their days, ofe akwu is more popular than tomato stew. You know, in those days, what they cook is what they get from their garden. They will get the akwu from their palm tree, and they will get the scent leaves from their garden or from their farm, and they will get they may not even add onions. They may add they have salt, they buy salt, they add pepper, maybe from their backyard as well. Usually in those days, the food that that generation cooked were things that you can get in your garden. They hardly went to the market. You know, for rice, you need to go to the market. For tomatoes, you need to go to the market, because we don't cultivate tomatoes and rice in eastern Nigeria. So, no. I mean, you have Adani rice and Abakaliki rice, but it's not something that is common, that people plant, like you plant yam and all that. Yeah, I hope you get what you mean. Anyway, it's 2 hours now. I'm going to stop here. Yes, you can use Abakaliki rice for jollof. I actually prefer Abakaliki rice and Adani rice to foreign rice. Those rice, the Abakaliki rice and Adani rice, they have this natural flavor and scent that is missing in foreign rice, in the long grain parboiled rice. So any day I find destoned Adani rice or Abakaliki rice, I'll buy it straight away. I prefer those rice. Do you know that when I was still young, when foreign rice, like this long grain imported rice that we eat now, came into the market, and it was so difficult for a lot of people to eat this foreign long grain parboiled rice, because everybody was so used to Adani rice and Abakaliki rice. At least I've come of age. Maybe I was 9, 10 or something when foreign rice. You're welcome, Florence. You're welcome. Hi. 20 minutes more, please. No, it's 9 p.m. here. I need to do some home stuff. Yes, Linda, you see, grandmas naturally gravitate to ofe akwu. Yes, that's correct. Yes, Abakaliki rice, ofe akwu, tomato stew. It's a modern stew. Ofe, and I prefer it to tomato stew, to be honest. It's tasty with scent leaves, enough onions, ogiri okpei. Hi, what else? What else? This, and then the apple. All these ingredients, you don't need so much ingredients, and they are very tasty. No, ofe is not more popular than tomato stew. No, I wouldn't say that. Ofe is not more popular. I wouldn't say it's more popular. The leaves I use for stew. Okay, will be the last question. No, I put ogiri okpei in ofe, not tomato stew. No, never. Ogiri okpei never in tomato stew. Okay, you asked what leaves I use for stew. Assuming I want to add leafy vegetable in my stew. If I'm in Nigeria, my number one choice, like I want to add it to tomato stew, my number one choice will be curry leaves. There's a leaf we call curry leaves in Nigeria. That's my number one choice if I want to add leafy vegetable to stew, and I'll add it sparingly. I wouldn't add it no. I'll add it sparingly. And my second choice will be scent leaves. Scent leaves. That's it. No other leaf goes into my stew, my tomato stew. If I want to add leafy vegetables to stew, because it's actually a nice variation to the stew. But if I'm cooking ofe, hands down, only scent leaves. I will not add any other leaf. If there's no scent leaves, I actually will not prepare ofe, because scent leaves is what makes it ofe. I mean, there are so many ingredients. Of course, the apple, the onions, ogiri okpei, and scent leaves. If these three, if you don't have any of them, you better not prepare the ofe, because unless you're, of course, outside Nigeria where you can't get it. What of nchanwu? Nchanwu is scent leaf that I've been talking about. That's the nchanwu. Yes, Linda, curry leaf. Yeah, actually, that curry leaf, I think the basil it smells like basil, the basil leaf outside Nigeria. Yeah. Can you mix ofe and tomato stew? No, never. I've seen people that add tomatoes to ofe. Madre mia, no. That's blunder, cooking blunder. Never do it. You're all welcome. Okay, bye. See you soon, Floret. Good. Bye. I can't do it every weekend because you see 2 hours of my time sitting here. I can't do any other thing. And I banned my family from the kitchen. So I'm glad, RMJ, you're just coming. Why? We're just about to go. Okay. Bye. Those that missed from the beginning can start from the beginning. Buenas noches, Linda. Hasta luego, todo el mundo. Hasta luego. Te quiero mucho. Os quiero mucho. Bye.